Alright, so recording started. Excuse me, for the recording people, sorry if I cough and still got a little bug, or a big bug, whatever it is, whatever lasts a month. But yeah, we're starting with Don here, talking about de-index sites. And usually the way that I work, guys, I'm going to start reading the questions, unless they're really long, for my voice right now. So this is a pretty long one, I'll just, and also when it's longer, it's easier to kind of comprehend it when I read it to myself. But I'll overview it if it's longer at least. Yeah, for some not. I think it depends on how obvious it is and like what type of linking you're doing. Like for mine, a lot of mine got the index with the hosting thing because it was so obvious. You know, I had hundreds of links from the same exact host going to the same money site. And when they made that change, that was a pretty obvious one, so that they will de-index them. Let me go see. Yeah, he is going. And you know, I don't know what type of linking Kelly was doing. So I don't know what happened with him. I'm sure he can bring it back. Anything can be brought back. We even brought back my Calcast under a different domain name for a little bit. And then we let it go just because it was more of a problem than we wanted to deal with. But yeah, man, I don't know what he did, so that's hard to answer. All right, from Jonathan here, for local SEO, are you simply still using citation search signals and PBNs to polish it off to get first page rankings? Do we need to use DAS with Weebly or any other Web 2.0s? I just did an update video on this, Jonathan. Should be, brand new in the news section. I did a 30-minute video talking about how I'm approaching local and all that type of stuff, so make sure you guys all check that out. All right. But local, yeah, I basically said, you can watch the video, but I would start by getting my Google Business verified, get your citations done, and then from there, depending on competition, you can hit citations with links, you can hit the money site with some links to get some keyword optimized anchor text in there. Of course, you can use DAS. DAS is a great way. So you can watch that video to kind of get more in depth on that. From David. A safe service to get all of these social profiles set up. No, I don't know of any service. I haven't had a problem with that. I would probably talk to Network Empire about that because they have a lot more experience with that than I do. But I haven't personally had any problems yet. All right, from Jonathan here. Can you show us how you're setting up your PBNs now? Is it simply PBN page post plus vKraken with your post and anchor link, and then sending social to that post? Yeah, I'm using Social Explosion. Some of them I do use the PBN page post with vKraken. It really depends on how many links, how many PBNs I'm sending to a site. Like if it's a site that's going to be getting, 20 plus PBN links, I'm going to do some like this. I'm going to do some one page, I'm going to do some with multiple pages on it, multiple posts, whatever the case. So, I just mix it up like that. But, if it's a site that's only going to be getting like 2 or 3, I'm not worried about having like one page post in there with no vKraken on it. That's just me. As long as, at least some of the links going there have more than one page to it. But, there's no reason not to add that. It's just, I guess that's laziness on my part. Like vKraken is just going to help add more, more pages to your site, more content. So there's no reason not to do that besides laziness. So it's actually probably bad on my part. All right, from Ken here, talking about DAS training. Yeah, that's pretty much correct, Ken. Talking about, but again, you might want to save that for Network Empire so they can delve into that. But yeah, for the most part, trust is building links to pages, and if it needs power, you build a link to a specific page with keyword optimized anchor text, depending on what anchor text you already have, obviously. Hey Sean, for Franklin TN Guy, we did not use DAS at all. It was just the what we did in the over the shoulder videos. So all that was done was the over the shoulder videos. The only reason that site got hit is because the links were coming from sites on the same host, which we obviously addressed a while ago. From David. OMG, David. He's asking for the best place to look for base SEO foundation. I mean, make sure you go through the orientation section, David. David Mills does a great job of explaining where beginners should start and what they should do. And then, from there, I would look at the domination section, go through the sink or swim section, understand anchor text and URL combinations. And then, of course, the network empire section, learning about social profiles and just kind of the basics of domain authority stacking, which starts with the social profiles and all that. Okay. From Joe. You can, Joe. I don't know how much time I'll be able to spend. It depends on how many questions come in. That's up to you. From Mike. Yeah, Jimmy did show something for Tumblr, but you don't on. There's a Becker webinar that was going on. But Mike, anything that Jimmy, his best stuff is going to be shared in OMG, so I wouldn't even worry about that too much. Sean, I mean, Project Breakthrough is basically Director's Cut plus NHB. You have a video from me, which I think it gets included in Director's Cut anyways. But anything non-SEO related, especially about like what's where, I would ask that to Mike, OMG at omgmachines.com. All right, from Chris here. No problem, Chris. You will be successful if you want it, Chris. Trust me. From Bridge. I have 2 money sites hosted on same hosting account. Can I link them to social sites using same Facebook, Twitter, and Google? That would probably be okay to do, Bridge. I'm not totally sure about that. Just because, I mean, Facebook, Twitter, and Google are so big that they kind of get different rules. So yeah, I don't really see. I don't think that would be a problem, although I'm not positive. I've never done it, so I can't say for sure. I'm just trying to think deeper here on this one. You might just want to create separate for each. I'm not sure why I'd use the same Facebook, Twitter, Google for each. I mean, unless they're like very similar sites. I don't think it would hurt you, but I mean, if they're important enough, it's probably a good idea to just create, each have its own. That's what I always do. From Ken here, I've been reading that PBNs are dead. PBNs are not dead. Director's Cut is just the other information, Ken. Like, so, Network Empire stuff, Joe stuff. we still have excuse me, we still have PBNs in Project Breakthrough, which is Director's Cut plus, the regular NHB. I am still using PBNs, pretty much my main tool. They still work very well. From Jason. Is it safe to go from a different post on a PBN to a different page on the money site? So I think what you're asking, if you already linked to the money site, like a page of the money site, then you link to like a different page on a different post, that's fine. Just don't do it too many times, that's all. You wouldn't want to link to like, keep linking to pages from the same PBN over and over and over, and you're just getting links from the same IP. But I think that's what you're asking. If you're not, just re-asking a different way. Sean, I've never used SendWire. Heather, you can use BuzzBuilder hosting for PBNs, but I personally don't send any links from the same host to, a money site. So, I mean, I still have SEO hosting. Like, SEO hosting is still fine to use, but if you have an SEO hosting account with 10 IPs on it, and you send one of those, you have 10 sites, and each on a different IP, and you send one of those to money site A, you wouldn't really want to take the chance of sending any of the other 9 to money site A, okay? So it's not that SEO hosting is unsafe to use, it's just that you got to be careful of sending too many links from the same host. Alright, from Joe, where's the new video on local? Maybe David didn't put it up yet, but it should be in the news feed if it's up, and it would be like the 20, it's like my update on, he would have updated in the last couple of days if it's out. I thought he put it up, but he might not have yet. If he hasn't, then it'll be up any day now. From Jason. For your PBN, do you do LSI and target keywords in your H1 tag? I mean, yeah, I'll mix in stuff like that, Jason. You definitely don't want to have your keyword too much. Putting in LSI is great. Stuff like that. From David. Not a member of NHB and total SEO rookie. Would like to offer local client consulting. Best place to start for base SEO foundation. David, I mean, the network empire section stuff will get you going with that. You're not going to be taught PBNs, but you can learn about DAS and stuff like that, and that will get you going. From Don. Talking about de-indexing of PBNs. He had one de-indexed. How can he get it back? I mean, I haven't really tried to get any back yet, Don. With since I've changed up where I'm not using the same hosting over and over and over again, I haven't had any problems with de-indexing. So, knock on wood, but if I do, then I'll look into getting them re-indexed, but I haven't had that problem yet. But, if you want to, you can send me that site on Facebook. I'd love to take a look at it. It might have got excuse me. Hold on one second, guys. It might have got de-indexed, Don, because of the quality of links going to it or something like that. But you can send me that and I'll take a look. From David. David, that's something that I will discuss with Network Empire as far as, keeping Google account, because they'll give you the best answer on that, like how to do different Google accounts for different clients and stuff like that. They will definitely give you the best answer on that. But from my understanding, they just clear their cache and cookies before they deal with any new situation. Like if they're doing client A and they're getting ready to go to client B, they'll clear cache, clear cookies, and then start working on client B stuff. All right, from Jason. Unable to log into PBN, I would contact your host on that, Jason. From Kara. Do you create social sites for your PBNs? I have. I mean, it's definitely a good idea, and it works very well. It is obviously more time consuming, so it depends on how important the project is, Kara. But yeah, I mean, if you create social sites for your PBNs, it can definitely give a big boost. I mean, that's basically the start of DAS right there. You know what I mean? So, and you would just make up a name, Kara. Okay. All right, and again, update video must not be out yet. I thought it was. Hold on 1 second. Let me stop showing my screen. I'm going to see if it's up yet. 1 second. All right, so let's see. Okay, yeah, so he hasn't posted yet. So I will mention that to him as soon as this coaching is done. I can almost guarantee you he'll upload it tonight. All right. But basically, it's like a half-an-hour video. I go over the best ways to approach local right now, how I'm approaching affiliate, how I'm basically ranking EMDs at will right now, and then also some changes that have gone on with on page. So that will be coming very soon. The video's done, so. It's funny, Ted just asked about EMDs. I mean, EMDs are great right now, Ted. It's just you got to be more careful about on-page optimization, and then doing the anchor text the correct way, which I show in the video coming, is just killer right now. From Ken. Talking about length to rank. I mean, it really depends on how competitive the niche is, how well you're optimized, how strong your links are. But Cotton talks all about like how to talk to clients about how long it's going to take and all of that. I think he does something like give me 6 months. But I would talk to Cotton about that because he's very good at telling people how to approach clients with that type of stuff. All right, from Mark. Would you recommend that a beginner starts with shared hosting or a VPS? Shared hosting will be fine, Mark. I mean, I don't know what you're using it for, but whatever you are, shared hosting will most likely be totally fine. I mean, even a lot of my stuff is on shared hosting. KLKS was on shared hosting. All right, let's see. Okay, from Noel. I mean, I don't necessarily do blogging on my sites, Noel, and I don't have a problem. It might be something that just makes it more powerful, but I mean, I can tell you, I don't think it's something that's needed to be done, at least not right now. But if you want that to be expanded on further, you can talk to Network Empire about that on their session. I mean, for me personally, I don't really do like necessarily blogging on any of my sites. Although so I do notice sites that I add content to more regularly rank a little better. But with local sites, you got to think that most local sites don't really update their sites. I mean, they have a business, they have a business site. They're not going to really have constant content coming in. So I mean, most local sites they don't even really add content to their sites constantly. But again, I'm not saying that it's not going to help because I know it does. I've done it, but it's not needed. Most don't even do it. Yeah, my webbies are recorded, Mike. And give me 1 second, guys. Be right back. Alright, sorry about that. Alright, from Lorraine Lewis here. So you set up 2 Google business pages. One is already in 7-pack. Congratulations. So you can see the 2 businesses listed in your personal Gmail dashboard. Yeah, I've never done that, Lorraine, so I'm not sure on that answer. I would probably save that for Network Empire, because I'm sure they've messed around with that. I don't like to answer questions on something that I haven't done, because then I can't give you a sure answer. So, no, I don't like referring people to other people. I want to make sure you get the right answer. Alright, from Bridge here. For an expired domain with page authority 35, domain authority 26, will using this domain as a money site give an extra advantage, or should it be used as a PBN? I mean, if they're good links, it can be. Excuse me. If they're good links, it can be used for either, Bridge. It just depends on what you need and what you're trying to do. And no problem, David. From Bridge. I usually get them done with Fiverr, Bridge. There's services where they'll set them up for you, and there's stuff out there where you can get you can buy like phone verified accounts. But again, if you want to get the best answer on that, you can save that one for Network Empire. Any advice on keeping up with all the information? I mean, Director's Cut is. So I'm guessing you're just in Director's Cut. I mean, if you're just in Director's Cut, then you're just going to be following that. You're not going to be following PBN type stuff because that's not really taught in Director's Cut. But I mean, just go through the content, ask questions. I know it can be a lot at first. When you first start something, it's going to be it's going to seem like a ton, but the more you do it and you actually implement it, the easier it gets over time. From Peter. I mean, even Jason, even some of the Network Empire stuff still, like with the profile stuff and all that, even sometimes still for me, because I haven't been doing it that long, I'm still, it's still like a lot for me at times, but you just keep doing it, and once you do something, you understand it more, and then you do it again, you understand more, so. Do you use domain, from Peter here, do you use domains you buy for your money sites? Then buy new domain name and change the registration, or just use domains you buy for PBNs? I mean, I do both, Peter, but I don't necessarily recommend you do the same. From Byong. Yeah, that's interesting, Byong. I was talking about the 30-day link sandbox. I've had the same thought, Byong, that it's almost like it's in certain niches. Because there's definitely niches where, I mean, I'll see movement right away, even without like social, on PBNs that aren't even that great, so yeah, it's almost like it is niche related, so, or maybe competition related, I'm not sure. I mean, it seems like if you use social, like when I use Social Explosion, it does have a better chance of moving. I've had instances where I've used no social at all on somewhat weak PBNs and see movement right away. So I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if that was like a niche thing or a competition thing. From Pip. Again, I would save that for Network Empire. Anything like IP related, save that for Network Empire because they have a lot of time with that. And I just want to make sure you guys are getting the right answers on these. From Kim. And again, this webinar wasn't planned. I'm just helping Network Empire kind of get the more basic questions underway. So more advanced questions like this, they can really get into. Oh, and Kim says the new video is posted in the OMG members area under SEO intro and updates. So let's go check it out. Thank you, Kim. Oh, I'm under Director's Cut. I'm sorry. This is just for Project Breakthrough then. That he put that in. So if you're a Project B member, I don't know what he has the URL for that. If you're a Project B member, then it's going to be in your members area. Because remember, Director's Cut is it's all about Network Empire and Joe Morfaglia and Cotton, whereas Project Breakthrough is all of us. Thank you, Kim, for clearing that up for me. From Marina. For money sites, do we install Social Explosion on the domain or its subdomain? You can install it on the domain, Marina. And then anything you post, it will send social signals to that post. Or you can put in an RSS feed. And they have videos on that if you don't understand that. Give me 1 second, guys. I gotta cough really quick. Sorry. Alright, I'll try zooming in more, George. It's pretty big on my screen, but let me know if anyone else is having problems. vKraken, it's going to constantly give you new content, Kara. So I mean, instead of having like a site just sitting there with no updated pages, you got content coming off. Okay. I've had my screen share off, darn it. Yeah, Flesh just texted me and let me know. So let me scroll back up here. This was the one from Young. I think that's about where we started that with. Sorry about that, guys. Talking about the 30-day sandbox, and we think it's somewhat niche related, or at least competition related. IP questions, go to Network Empire for the best answer. From Kim here, she was saying that it's in the OMG members there, but remember that's Project Breakthrough. Marina asked for money sites. Do we install Social Explosion on a domain or a subdomain? They go on the domain. And here's from Jonathan here. Sorry about that, guys. I'm obviously not right still. Alright, what are your thoughts on click-through rate, improving search positions, and using software like crowdsearch.me to improve your click-through rate? I know that click-through rate can improve search positions because I've done it. I'll throw a free tip out there for you guys. I've used this service. I don't think I've ever even taught this. But you sign up for microworkers, and you can create a campaign, and you can have people go and search for your term. Like, for example, let's say you're like number 7 for like Delaware plumbers, and you want to increase your rankings. You can go create a campaign. It will cost like maybe 25 cents per person that you hire. You create the campaign. You tell them to go search it. Tell them to go click on your site, and then have them stay on your site for like a minute or two. And the way you do that is you say like, okay, watch the video down the page and tell me how far in this happens in the video. That makes them stay on the page for a little bit, and it makes them verify that they've done the project. They've actually searched for the term and visited your site. So I know that click-through rate can actually increase rankings because I've done it using this. Having people search for my term, go down to my site, click my site, and then stay on the page for a little bit, and then of course verify they've done it with. But they have a pretty easy process for how to do it. Just sign up, create a campaign, and explain what you want done. It doesn't work as well for competitive because you would need to do a large campaign to move it up, and it would cost a lot of money. But for like local stuff that's not competitive, this actually works pretty well. Like for a lower competition. So I shared that one since I messed up with the screen share. So there you go, guys. Alright. And again, the benefits of vKraken are, constant content. Thank you for letting me know about my screen. And let me actually text Fletch back and let him know I got it. Alright, from Andy here. I've set up a new citation directories for a client, such as Yellow Pages, but haven't seen it listed. When I do a search in WhiteSpark, it's been 3 weeks. How long should it take? I don't necessarily check in WhiteSpark to see if it's been done like in WhiteSpark. So I don't know like the exact time frame on that. I usually just have them done, and then I'll go to at least the important ones, make sure they're up. But I don't know exactly how long WhiteSpark takes to index that or list that information. I've never really like kept up with that. Alright, so let me go get a new screenshot. Alright, sorry about that. From Jonathan Stack here. Where do we send a PBN link to if the page that is indexed on Google keeps changing? I have a plumber client that is currently on page 3, but 1 week his home page is indexed, and the following week an inner page is indexed. He's trying to rank for city plus plumber, but has an inner page for that city as well. What's the best way to go about it? I mean, you want to send links to whatever page you're trying to rank. The reason that it's doing that is most likely because they're both optimized for the same keyword. So for whatever one you don't want to rank for that keyword, make sure you under optimize for whatever that keyword. It might be in the title, it might be in the content too much. The pages might be too similar where Google's getting confused which one is about that topic. And then, of course, when you send links to the page you want to be ranked, then that's going to help rank that page as well. All right, from Marina here. After a site has been verified with Google, can they track plugins such as Social Explosion, and whether publisher markup meta tags should be removed after the site has been verified despite Google's recommendation to keep it? I would ask that to Network Empire, Marina. They know like the technical stuff like that for sure. I mean, my guess is they wouldn't be able to track like on the plugin front, it wouldn't be any different. But again, Network Empire would know that for sure. For Jeff here. I set up a My Business page for a client. However, it appears that he's already been verified. I've not been able to find anywhere the place to request the verification postcard. Have you ever seen that? Am I missing something? Jeff, are you sure he hasn't set up the My Business page before? Because, I mean, unless you verified it, it shouldn't be verified. So, no, I've never seen that. But Cotton has a ton of experience with the My Business pages. So, if he wasn't already verified, I would bring that to Cotton. You might want to check. Go to Google My Business and run his business through and just see maybe if he's already in there. From Lorraine. Thank you, Lorraine. Appreciate it. Okay, from Chris. Okay, so just a comment there. Yeah, I mean, that's a good plan, Chris. There's definitely a ton of great information in Director's Cut. Absolutely. You're talking about the video for me. Again, Director's Cut's not about me. Director's Cut is more about everyone else besides me and Fletch. But the reason they're having me do this webinar is because it's just like an extra. That's all. Oh, you guys weren't pestering me about screen share being off. That was my fault. I did not mean to have my screen share off. Project Breakthrough is the 2015 NHB coaching course. Any questions about that, send to Mike or David. I let them kind of deal with all that stuff. I just do, the content they tell me to do and focus on SEO so I can, get the best SEO information. From Ken. Yeah, again, I mean, director's cut's not really about me, Ken. But again, that's all David Mills and Greg and Mike deal with that stuff. Again, I kind of let them deal with the business stuff, and I just focus on SEO. And that allows me to just focus on SEO, which is the reason we are able to get the results we do. Director's cut is, again, everyone outside of being Fletch. It's Network Empire, Cotton, Joe Marfaglio, and then Project Breakthrough is just the full coaching course. From Beyond, I've seen cases where the number one has lower domain authority, page authority, and weaker links. I've seen so many cases like that, and it makes me wonder why that happens. I have sites that have better metrics and links, no over-optimization, still loses to a site with weaker metrics. Have you had such experience? I mean, yeah, Young. And, sometimes it's just about little optimization things that Google just likes that sometimes it's hard to put together. Like, for example, maybe they like when a keyword is once in an image alt tag, once as LSI in an H1, once as LSI in title, and then once exactly in the content. And if that's their formula and a site has that exactly, they give it like a 20-point boost. You know what I mean? So I mean, there's very, very specific stuff that they like that we're always working on finding, and we always update you guys when we find them. But I mean, there's so many little things that they consider and they have in their algorithm like that. But one thing you can do, Byung, is take sites that are ranking like that and look at stuff like that, like list side by side. What's their keyword optimization? What type of LSI are they using? Do they have keywords in their image alt tags? How do they have their title set up? What's their URL? Like you gotta understand that optimization is a combination of everything. So maybe you have the keyword in the domain or the URL and they don't. So that's giving them a different optimization to where like there's so many factors that come together is what I'm trying to explain. Sometimes that can be hard to see like as an overall picture. But if you kind of list the site side by side and on page, as I said in that video that for Project B, on page has become a lot more important. Paying attention to what you're doing on your page, whereas before it was a lot more, we just paid attention to the URL and anchor text combinations and we could get away with that. Whereas now you have to pay a lot more attention to the on-page stuff, like, your keyword density and what's in your H1 tags, what's in your title, all that stuff. So, from Jason. For the RSS feed and Social Explosion, are you using the same feed in each PBN or mixing it up? I mean, I'm only using that, Jason, when I need to do something outside of a post. And like for example, if I want to do a page on the site or something, I'll throw it in the what's that? Let me see what the service code. I'm going to unshare my screen for a second, and I will reshare it. It is showing this time. So like if I want a page done, I'll just throw it in here. This is what Network Empire showed: pagecom.com, XML, RSS generator.html. I'll throw it in here. I'll grab the URL, and then from there, I'll throw it in the feed. They're coming out with the one feed generators soon. Excuse me, 1 second, guys. Very frustrating, this call. So the one feed generator, what it will do is allow you to throw a whole bunch of pages into one feed. Okay. So if you have like a Weebly, maybe 2 pages on your site, maybe a Tumblr, if Tumblr does RSS, I think they do. If you want to put those 4 pages into one RSS, you can combine all those with the one feed generator and then throw that into Social Explosion, and it will send signals to all 4 of those pages. So they got that coming out soon. But when I need a feed right now, I just throw whatever I need in here. I'll create a feed, and then I'll go from there. Like, for example, if I wanted a feed for omgmachines.com, let's hit go. It gives you the feed URL right here. You can just do copy link location. And then there's your feed URL. Okay. And there's actually nothing in here. So that's not really a proper feed page, but let me go to the blog. Let's go to Nashville SEO. I mean, and Network Empire is showing this, but I just want to make sure. So let's say we wanted to, send signals to the reputation management page. We would copy this. Throw it in here. And here's our link. Just copy location. Then you would throw this in the, I always go to and just make sure there is a link here. As you can see for this one, there is. Especially for stuff like Weebly, Tumblr, because you don't know which of those are doing RSS feeds and which aren't. So I'll always, after I put in the page, I'll visit the link and make sure there is a link to that page, and there is. So that will send social signals to that page. Where were we? All right, Kara. What's the difference between OnlyWire and Social Explosion? Is there a benefit to using one over the other? I've never used OnlyWire, Kara, so I can't answer that one. From Heather. Is it a good idea to optimize each page of a site for a different keyword? I mean, it depends what you're doing, Heather. I definitely have sites that are optimized for multiple keywords. It depends how closely related they are. I mean, generally, yeah, you're going to optimize pages for different keywords. From Don. I don't know when the SEO skin is coming out, Don. I'm not sure about that. From Jeff. Oh, back to his My Business page. So he had someone set up a My Biz page, but the client never finished the verification process. But didn't you say it's saying he's verified? See, I mean, that might be something you want to talk to Cotton about. He has so much experience with that. He has all types of tricks with My Google Business pages, so I'm sure that he would be able to help you with that, Jeff. Definitely better than I can. Yeah, sorry, Jeff. I wish I could answer it for you. And I hate making people wait to get their answers, but I just want to make sure you guys get the right answer. And you can always ask on Facebook, too. Just kind of throw it on Facebook and see if you can get an answer on there. From Andre. Yeah, I mean, Director's Cut can be good for a newbie. I mean, because you're starting with... I would start probably in the Network Empire section, Andre, because you can kind of get the confidence you can rank a site, and then from there you can go into Cotton section and stuff like that and start figuring out how to get clients. But if you go through Network Empire section, you're going to kind of learn how to get your sites ranking, and then once you're ranking, that kind of gives you more confidence to pick up a client. So I don't, Mike. I was actually wondering the same thing. He's asking about the one feed. Do you know how much? A lot of their products, Mike, are like $97. Like V-Kraken was $97. I rebought it because I couldn't find my other copy. I didn't feel like asking him for it, but so I know that's $97. Bro, I'm guessing it'll be around 97. But I don't have any idea. That's just my guess. From Brad. Does the EXIF data start to become good ranking practice for image description, keyword information for images? What do you mean by the EXIF data, Brad? The link was... It doesn't allow me to... Oh, maybe it does allow me to post in here, doesn't it? I can send to the entire audience. Yeah, you're right. Alright. So I posted the link to that feed generator in the chat box. But yeah, it's a really cool tool. How you can kind of generate a feed for anything, and then you can send Social Explosion to it, even for like Weebly stuff, which can be very powerful. All right, from David. Based on what is most effective today, if you had to start from square one, what would you focus on to ramp up your ability to acquire clients under local consulting? Not speaking of prospecting, but actual methods and/or strategies that gets clients results. I mean, as far as client getting, that's definitely not my area, David. But client results, for client sites, you want to get My Google Biz verified. You want to send citations, and then from there you can juice up the citations, start dominating the first page, which is a form of DAS. It also will help your money site boost, and then from there you can use DAS to the money site. You can use PBNs to the money site. There's a whole lot of what ifs, like how competitive it is and how much is the client paying you. If you got a client paying you $500 a month, you're not going to start juicing up all the citations and dominate the first page for them. They're not paying you enough for that. But if it's a $10,000 a month client, start juicing up those citations, get the citations ranking. That also helps the money site be more powerful. That's the form of DAS. So you can really take it as far as you want. All right, from Brad here. I was talking with a member. If you completely redo a site, does it blow out all ranking factors and start all over with the ranking process? Do you have to keep a site intact? How do you do a site if the silos are all messed up? I mean, you can use like 301 redirects and stuff, Brad, if you have like links coming in. Like for example, if your silos are all messed up, you would redo the site. Make note of the old URLs and what they were ranking for, and then when you set up the new silos, you kind of 301 the old URL to the new URL. I mean, that's one way to do it. But without the 301, yeah, you're basically going to lose the ranking from the links. But I mean, if there's no links involved, you're pretty much going to lose everything. It's going to kind of be rescored, so to speak. So it might come back better ranking with no links involved, especially since there's now a silo in the picture. From Paul, do you use social signals from any other sources besides Social Explosion? No, I actually don't, Paul. Not those type of social signals. I use Social Explosion a lot. Talking about metadata associated with an image. I forget what your question was. Yeah, man, I haven't messed around with that a ton, Brad. He's talking about the metadata associated with an image. Like, do you do you worry much about, like description, keyword, and information for images? Sorry, hold on, I might sneeze here a second. 1 second. All right, went away. Yeah, I haven't messed with that like a ton, Brad, but like I've done things like, and I talked about this in the video. I'll just give this away to you guys as well. But there's even little things happening right now, like, for example, I had a site, and let's say it was something like OMG Machines Review. Okay, I was ranking very well for OMG Machines Review. Now, this wasn't the actual keyword. I'm just using an example. But I was ranking nowhere to be found for OMG Reviews with an S on the end of reviews. And the reason was I didn't have reviews anywhere on my page. Even though they're that closely related, review and reviews, just an S on the end. Since I didn't have review with an S on the end, they weren't allowing me to rank for that. And I talked to Sue, and she's like, I was like, obviously it's because it's not on my page. I'm going to try throwing it on the page, and I'm sure it'll come up. She was like, well, do me a favor, try throwing it in an image alt tag, reviews, and see if they, see how they count that. And I throw it in an image alt tag, and within a few days, I was actually #1, for the reviews with an S on the end version as well. So, just stuff like having your keywords somewhere on the page, even if it's an image alt tag, or who knows, maybe even an image file name. I don't know if they would count that or not. I guess that if it's in the HTML code, like if it's in the source code, then they would probably count it. So what I mean is like view page source. So if it's so if it was in the file name, it would probably show up as a keyword in the code. So you would probably get credit for that as well. I'm guessing. But yeah, I mean, little stuff like that is definitely starting to make a bigger difference. By juicing up citations, I mean sending links to them. Sending PBNs to them, sending DAS to them, sending social signals to them, any of that stuff. Alright, it's 4 o'clock here, guys. I'm going to let any final questions roll in. Starting to struggle a little bit. So if you got any final questions, throw them in. I'm going to run to the bathroom, and then I'll answer any final questions that are in. So I'll be back in about 2 minutes, and we'll finish up here. I want to make sure I get all your guys' questions in there. Be right back. Scott Schaff's in the house. I knew Scott was here. What's up, Scott? Alright, so let me run through these last questions here. What the hell did I do? Hold on 1 second. I just lost my question log. Where the heck did it go? It disappeared. There we go. Scott, why are you here, man? You got nothing to learn from me. Scott's out there beasting it now. Alright, so where were we? Oh, that's an old one. Just listening while I work, I like it. Alright, so let me grab this last screenshot. Alright. From Andy here. I have a photographer client. 9% of his content is photos. Would tagging the photos with keyword description help? And if yes, then the tag be under the 60-letter rule. Yeah, I mean, from what I just talked about, Andy, that's going to help. You know what I mean? Like the thing that I just talked about, having the keyword, and we knew about the keyword on the page for a while. It was that George Bush thing. I think someone ranked. Sorry about coughing right in the mic. They just come out sometimes. I can't help it. But someone ranked George Bush for worst president in the world. Obviously, those words weren't on the page. So since then, you have to have the words on the page to rank for it. But I never knew, at least, that it was so specific. Like, because I didn't have review with an S on the end. I couldn't rank for reviews. Like, it's crazy. That doesn't happen for every site, but for this site, it was obviously the case because when I added that to the image alt tag, I popped right up for it. So, if you're not ranking for specific keywords, like close variations, go check your page. Like, for example, if you're ranking for Delaware plumbers, but you're not ranking for plumbers in Delaware, go look at your page. Do you have plumbers in Delaware anywhere on your page? If you don't, go throw an image alt tag. Maybe you can throw it on the page if you want. You can try a file name. Or even if you're not ranking for like specific city, like, I have plenty of clients where they come on and they'll be ranking, they want to rank for multiple cities, yet they only have one city on their entire page. And, right away, that's one of the first things I look at with that is, I'm like, you got to put other cities on there. Like, just, even if it's, located in city name, but also serving city, 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 city. Now they're going to also rank for those 4 additional cities. So, I mean, yeah, adding that to adding keywords to the photo tags would definitely help, Andy. But I wouldn't stuff in there. Google's getting way too smart with that stuff. Just keep it natural. Get your keywords in there, but keep it natural. From Brad. Brad's talking technical on me. I'm not technical, Brad. XF is metadata and images. Google says it reserves the right to use it as ranking signals. I've never even heard of XF. I know the basic stuff like image alt tags and file name. But I mean, yeah, in all seriousness, I'm almost positive file name will, do the same thing, and then obviously image alt tags are working. Even description. That's going to go in the source code, so that's where they're grabbing that from. It's a computer. They're looking at the code, not the the text necessarily on the page. From Byong, you think having thin content in the money site, for example, 3 to 5 pages, negatively affects in terms of ranking? Have a site with only 5 pages of content. Each page has 300 words or less. And it's still number 2, but I created before all the latest updates. Not sure if for new sites it has more effect. I mean, I think it depends, Byong, on the niche. I mean, if you're creating a 3 to 5 page site with 300 words each in a competitive affiliate niche, I don't think you have a chance. If you're doing that for a local niche that's maybe not that competitive, I think you have a very good chance with that. Because, I mean, again, you got to understand, a lot of local sites, they're static sites, with a few pages. I mean, what do most local sites have? They have the home page that describes their, just kind of gives the basic overview. If you want to visit us, call here, maybe history and all that stuff. They might have a services page. They might have an about page. They might have a contact page. Like, not most local sites don't have a ton of pages. They're not constantly adding content. I mean, that's just the way a local business is. Why would a local business need to? What would a local business constantly need to blog about? Like, for example, a plumber. What are they going to give plumbing tips? Like, no one who's looking for a plumber wants plumbing tips. I mean, they could post stuff on like their latest jobs and keep updating that page, something like that. I mean, most people don't do that. I mean, that's just the way local is. So, I mean, there's certain things you can get away with in local, you definitely cannot get away with it in competitive affiliate. All right, from Ken. I actually put, excuse me, the full keyword in, Ken. So, the example is OMG Machines Review. I think I did OMG Machines Review, the full reviews, the full. But I'm guessing even if I just put in reviews without OMG Machines, that it would have at least bumped me up significantly for that keyword. I mean, I was nowhere to be found. So I'm guessing it at least would have put me like, first, second page, maybe even number 1 still, but maybe that's something to test with, change it to just that and see if I fall. All right, from George, are we not using LinkJuice Keeper anymore? I use Link Juice Keeper some of the time. Hold on, guys. I gotta get out this round of coughing. What I do is if a site does not have a ton of links going to non-existing inner pages, for example, a PBN, it basically you're sending links to non-existent pages to the home page. So if a site used to be there, used to have pages on A, B, and C, and A, B, and C pages had some links going to them. Those pages obviously aren't going to be there when you rebuild the site. You're just using the home page. So, I mean, if there's not like a whole bunch of those inner pages that had links, I'll just not use it and manually 301 just to be safe. I mean, just in case. Like, I don't want Link Juice Keeper on every single PBN if I don't need it. You know what I mean? Like, just every little thing that I can take care of like that, I do, or I try to do. Or what I notice is a lot of sites don't even really have links going to the inner pages, and for those, you definitely don't need to use it. But if it's a site that has a lot of links to inner pages, or a lot of inner pages have links, then I will use Link Juice Keeper. From Wayne. You don't need. Okay, so if I create new accounts for Twitter, G+, Facebook, they have 0 followers, friends initially. Do I need to get a bunch of followers and friends for each account before I start posting them? It actually still works without friends or followers, Wayne. But I talked to Sue about this, and the one thing when you have friends and followers, you got to think when you make a post, for example, on Facebook, it goes out to all your friends' walls. You know what I mean? So that's just more exposure, like more links out there. All right, but it does still work without friends or followers. Although if it was an important project, I would try to add relevant friends and followers. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Scott. Sorry, guys. You would contact Mike Peter, omg@omgmachines.com. All right, and last question here from David. Looking for what you would do to get a local client results that makes them stay on board month to month. You mentioned juicing citations. What else? Thanks again for trudging through this. I mean, again, it depends on what type of client it is. You know what I mean? Like if it's a client paying me $50,000 a month, I'm gonna be making on multiple money sites, with multiple my Google businesses, with citations for each of them, juicing up all the citations, getting PBNs involved. I mean, it depends how much the client's paying you. I mean, whereas if it's a client's paying $300 a month, I'm gonna get them a money site, and that's pretty much it. I'm gonna order citations, and where they land, they land. If it's a $300 a month client, it's probably not competitive, so you're probably going to get their money site to number one just from that. So I mean, again, it really depends on what type of client it is and what they're paying you and all that. All right, so just really quick, was this webinar all right for you guys? Everyone enjoy it? Just want to make sure the style fits you guys as well. Awesome, great, cool. All right. You guys can be honest about if there's anything you didn't like, just let me know. We're always trying to improve on these, so if there's a better way to do them. All right, cool. All right, guys, this recording